What's up everyone? Happy Monday. Welcome to those of you that are new to the channel, and welcome back to those of you that have caught the first 3 videos that we dropped in a series for property tax savings for your primary residence in the state of Florida. Those 3 videos were on homestead exemption, portability, and how to calculate your taxes on your primary residence the following year. I will drop all those links below, and those are all on my YouTube channel. Be sure to check those out. This video is on who pays the realtor, how the realtor gets paid, and when they get paid. It's one of the main questions that I've been asked through clients, whether it's new first-time home buyers who ask that a lot, or now with all of the rule changes and the new buyer agreements that need to be signed, there's a lot of a second wave of people asking these questions. So I thought it would be something that might be easier to try to explain. I will say that it's not as black and white as you may think, and once I give you the information, I'll let you be the judge of who's actually paying the real estate agent. What I will tell you to preface all this is not just the payment, but the process. Whether I'm renting, whether you guys are buying, or whether you're selling, the agent doesn't get paid until the deal gets closed. So if you're out there buying and you're looking to set up searches, looking to go look at properties, looking to submit offers even go to contract, I won't make any money, or the realtor won't make any money on that deal unless it closes. Same thing if you're a seller. If you list your home and I pay for all the professional marketing and the photos and the video and everything else, when the home doesn't sell, whether you go with another agent or whether you decide just to pull it off the market, I don't get paid. The only time I get paid is when I complete the job that we've agreed to, whether it's helping you find a home to buy, whether it's helping sell your home, or whether you're a tenant looking for a rental. Any of those things, if those don't get completed, I don't get paid. And I think that's one of the things that cost of business that isn't brought up enough. I'm not out here complaining, but I think there are too many people that don't think of that side of the business when they're going through the whole numbers and situation. Now, when it comes to paying the realtor, there are 2 real main aspects. One of them I'll go over briefly. I mentioned it before, the buyer-broker agreement. I will end up doing a full video on that, so I'm only going to go over the basics of it. And again, that's a case-by-case basis. Everything is not the same. It'll be situational depending on how many times you're doing deals with that agent or whatever it may be. So I'm just going to give basic information on that. The other side of things is how the agent's getting paid, who's actually paying them, where the money's coming from, and how all that gets broken down. I've had a lot of people bring it up and ask me, how do they get paid? Whether it's a seller, who's paying who, whether it's a buyer, how's the agent getting paid? And it shouldn't just be something that the agents understand and the clients don't. It should be something that everyone at the table and everyone part of the transaction needs to understand. And it was an alarm to me that there are groups and parties that have gone through and purchased, sold homes and had no idea how anyone in the transaction was really getting paid, how much they were getting paid, when they were getting paid. It doesn't need to be, and it shouldn't be like that. So I'm hoping through this video I can kind of break that down and explain a little bit more. Okay, now to the fun part. Now to the part of actually seeing who gets paid, how they get paid, and how it all kind of gets shaken down at what time. So in short, homes, when they got listed before, the seller would meet with the listing agent. They'd do their listing agreement, and that listing agreement would consist of both the buyer agent and the seller agent's commission. The buyer agent's commission would then be put into the MLS. If it's an off-market deal, it would just be marketed with the property, and that was it. That was how the deal closed. Now it's a little bit different. There's a buyer-broker agreement. So when the property's listed, the seller and the listing agreement and the listing agent go through and they negotiate that side of the commission. Sometimes they will negotiate a portion that the seller is willing to pay to the buyer's broker, but there's a second side to this now. As a buyer, when you're out looking, you either are going directly to the listing agent or you are negotiating and signing an agreement, a buyer's broker agreement, with your agent. That then says that you're working exclusively with them. And not that you will necessarily pay them. I think this is the biggest thing. It's you're guaranteeing that they will make a certain either percentage of the deal or a dollar amount. So it doesn't have to be a percent. It can be 10,000, it can be 100,000, whatever that deal and percentage may be, or it can be 2, 2.5%, 3%, whatever that may be. That's agreed upon between you and them. But what I will say is a lot of the sellers are still offering their standard commissions that they were before. Not standard, but what they would have offered anyway, 2, 2.5%, 3%. So a lot of times there isn't a big gap, if any, between what the buyer and the actual seller are going to have to pay. Now, what I will say is, think about this. If you're a buyer and you've agreed to pay 2.5% to your agent and the seller's offering 2%, there's a 0.5% gap there. If you're paying that 0.5% to your agent, Are you just coming out of pocket that 0.5%? Probably not. You're probably taking it right off of your offer price. So your net number is going to be the same and your out of pocket's going to be the same. Who's paying it on paper is a little bit different. But in the other process, all it was you would spend X amount of money, $1 million, let's say. It would go to the seller and the seller would pay both agents. Now, a lot of times it's the buyer's paying the buyer's agent and the seller's paying the seller's agent. The net to the seller and the cost to the buyer are the same. It's how it's getting from point A to point B and who's paying it are different. As long as you understand that going in and know who's paying who, how they're getting paid, and when they're getting paid, you should feel more comfortable. It's just make sure you're asking the right questions and you're not going into something not knowing what your costs are going to be. Just like in my other videos, what your property taxes could be the following year. It's a very expensive purchase, whether you're buying a $100,000 condo or a $10 million house. It's a lot of money. And if it changes by 1%, it can be drastic in the short term and in the long term of accumulating costs, whether it's home insurance, taxes, whatever it may be. So please just be diligent out there. Ask the right questions. If you don't know the questions to ask, reach out to somebody who does. Whether it's me, another agent, somebody you know who's bought or sold a lot of homes, just please don't not ask the questions. Ask the questions, get the answers. You'll be more educated. Thanks, guys. I hope that was helpful. And as always, please follow, like, subscribe, share this with other people that you think could be helped from it. That's my big goal, is to provide information, content that can help you, whether you're purchasing using me as an agent or whether you're purchasing in another state that I can't even help you in. I just want you to be as educated as possible when you get to the closing table. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. What's up, everyone? Happy Monday. Welcome to those of you that are new to the channel